The triple jump is an event of beauty and grace when performed properly. It requires speed, strength, balance, and rhythm. To present the program used at Oregon to develop these skills, my associate coach, John Gillespie.
The triple jump. The most important thing to remember about the triple jump is the name. Triple jump, or 3 jumps. It is not a hop, a step, and a jump as it used to be called. It must be 3 jumps. Only the pole vault rivals the triple jump in the ability to affect the outcome 2 or 3 times. You can actually apply force while you're in the middle of the event. We're going to divide this event up into 4 different parts. The technique, the drills in order to learn that technique, the conditioning to be ready for those drills, and finally the mental aspect. First, we're going to deal with the technique. The triple jump technique itself is divided into 4 parts. The approach, the hop, the step, and the jump. And then we have the total triple jump itself. But first let's talk about the approach. It's maximum controllable speed that we want. We're not just sprinting down the runway. We want to be able to control that speed at the board. We believe that it takes 2 to 3 check marks when you come down the runway. You have a starting mark, then you run toward a middle mark that you must look at to see how your foot is on that mark. This mark is to give you confidence for the overall approach, to check your approach and make sure that you've run the appropriate number of steps and that you're on schedule to hit the board at the right spot. If you don't look at that mark, it's not doing you any good. Most people make their mistake in the first 2 to 3 strides, so this middle mark is very, very important. Also important about the approach is putting your foot on the board. Too many beginners want to have their foot right next to the line, and it's only important that your foot be on the board, not next to the line. On a 40 or 50 foot jump, a couple of inches makes very little difference, and yet it does if it's a foul. So we want to run at about 3/4 speed to the first mark, and then we accelerate and we run faster through the board, but only at that maximum controllable speed. The speed and length of the approach is only important after correct technique has been learned. Most beginners should have an approach of only 70 to 100 feet. And when the beginning of the season, they should be running at a modest speed. It's only later in the season, after your technique has improved, that you can start running faster to the board. The second part of the technique, the hop, is the first jumping phase of the triple jump, and it's actually not a jump at all. It's a run off the board. It's very important in the triple jump that you stay low. It's like skipping a rock across a lake. You want to keep it low and flat as it goes across. Most beginners have a very high hop, and when they land, they can't recover for the next phase. So we want to stay low, and that means run